right? She can take action in the present moment, but for her it may be hard. For us it is easy. But she thinks not just about the present moments, but she thinks about the future, and she sees her future very, very bleak. Now, again, in the board exams, there are a lot of these questions which are connected. Now, if you look at the future of Saheb and Mukesh, they have a bleak future. Why they have a bleak future? Because they are born out of poverty. The rat trap peddler, he has a bleak future. But for us, we can change it. It is in our hands. All of these literature, poems, everything is put in our syllabus so that we can understand that we have power. And that power we can capitalize only when we are in the present moment. You can think about the future, you can have goals. But those small steps that we need to take every day, without that the future will not change. So here aunt is picturing her future, and which is very bad. And this is something that we also do. And her situation may be really bad. So we are not judging Aunt Jennifer, but we are just talking about that our future is not bleak. And if we want, we can change it. But by being in the present. But again, the challenge of being in the present, like we were on the dance floor 2 days, 3 days back, like we were in acting, like we were in speaking, we are not present. And that is our challenge. We are not present in our lives. So let's discuss. And it's a very bleak, very bad future that she imagines again. Imagines. This is not real. So if we'll pay attention to the words, when aunt is dead, is she really dead right now? No. When? In the future, when she is dead, her terrified hands will lie. Her hands will, after her death, her hands will be terrified and they will lie. And I want to tell you that we have discussed this in the past also, that till we are alive, if somebody comes and speaks bad to us, we remember, oh, he spoke bad to me. And somebody is nice to us here, he is nice. Somebody is neutral, oh, he is neutral. But after we are dead, suppose our dead body is lying, and if somebody jumps on us, spits on us, says bad words, do we feel it? No. So one thing is, of course, we are not the body, we are the soul. But over here, after you are dead, nobody can insult you. But she is thinking that even after her death, she will remember all of this. And that is very, very bad. That is very, 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 very bad. Very bad. In the Indian scriptures, it is said that if you die like this, you haunt like a ghost. So we want to die happily. Whenever somebody dies happily, as in, anyways, nobody came to the earth taking anything, bringing anything, and nobody will take anything with them. Is there a way? Does anybody have figured out a way that when you die, you can take something with you? No. So how can you take your emotions, feelings and everything? But it goes with the soul. But if you die unhappily, and you will die unhappily if you lived unhappily. In certain conditions that you die unhappily is bad. But here, it's a very, very, very bad state. She is thinking about the future. She is thinking when aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie. In her death also, her hands will be terrified. And what are we discussing over here? That when you are dead, nobody can terrify you. When you are dead, no one can terrify you. But she imagines herself like that, and that is very bad. Now what does she imagine? Still ringed with ordeals. Now ring has two meanings, and it is a double connotation. It is a figure of speech which is called double connotation, which means it has two meanings. Ringed has two meanings. The first meaning is the ring, the wedding band, and the second is the sounds of the torture that uncle enforced upon her and enforced her to live the way she has to live. I'm repeating again, ringed with ordeals. Ordeals means test, which causes pain. What is the test over here? The bad behavior. Ordeals over here also is the bad behavior of the uncle. So maybe he's just not torturing her with words. He's also torturing her physically, and then that is very hard for her to bear. And that is why she's thinking about the future, that in the future also when she's dead, I am again repeating, if you are dead, sometimes we are alive dead in the class. Which means what, right? If the teacher is giving instruction for 10 times also, no, you don't write. Alive dead. So, yes, people are alive dead. But in factual death, nothing can happen to you. Suppose you die and people make parts of your body. They cut it. You don't see it. You don't feel the pain. Do you feel the pain? But when you are alive, you feel the pain. But that is an imagined future when you are going to die. So we should not think about death. We should think about how we want to live the life every single moment. And that is where our pain starts. To live life, you have to live the life with some pain. As a student, you have to work hard. But that is what something is not normal to human beings. And they want to have suffered pains. And that is why they suffer more. So coming back to the point. Still ringed with ordeals, she was mastered by. Right now she is imagining dead, but she is remembering how uncle was torturing her, mastered by. She was a puppet, or she was an animal in the circus, and uncle was the ringmaster. Not the right analogy, but head of the house. Yeah? Male-dominated society. So your master by is showed in that idea of male-dominated society. Our society is changing, but in earlier days it was very, very bad. Girl children were sometimes not given education. They were killed when they were born. Even right now, many places they are not given equal opportunities. Though we are trying, but the society still remains more towards the male domination. Mastered by. She was mastered by uncle. So now she's saying the tiger in the panel she made. Remember the tigers in the crochet she made? She is imagining she is dead. She is still in trouble. She is still in pain. She is still in a lot of taklif. But the tigers, they are free. They will come out of the crochet and run. So the idea over here is she believes and makes these tigers for herself, right? She made these tigers for herself. But she could never become like the tigers. And when she died, the tigers escaped. Or the idea is basically, so it's the same thing with us. We say we want to live with a lion mentality. This year will pass and we'll stay where we are. Time is gone. Time is money, they say. Being in the present is the most important gift God has given to us. I was reading a message this morning. Right? Gift of God. Our body is 80% water and we have these pores. Have you ever imagined that the water does not leak from our body? See how God has created our body. There are so many things like that. 80% is water. Yes or no? Though we perspire, we have these small, pores through which the water comes out through perspiration. The water does not leak. Imagine the beauty that God has given us. But how do we waste it? So again, she made these tigers for herself, but she could never become like the tigers, even after her death. And then the tiger she is imagining that when she is dead, the tigers will live, but she would never become like a tiger. When I leave this classroom, the classroom will stay, the benches will stay. I always wanted to become like a lion, but I could not become like a lion. I always wanted to do something for myself, but I could not. But here her situation, but living in the future is very, very bad. Very, very bad. So we'll go on prancing, prancing proud. Prancing means springing on two legs, happily. Proud. They are proud. Is Aunt Jennifer proud? No, she is not proud. Is uncle making her proud in any way? Is there any appreciation from the uncle? Is there any love? No. The only thing that is left is fear. But the tigers left unafraid. But even in her death, she is afraid. But the tigers are not afraid. And she could not never remain like a tiger. And there are figures of speech over here. Irony is one of the figures of speech. That when she is dead, the tigers are free. Living, she could never become a tiger. Tiger King, the tiger was supposed to die by the 100 tiger, but he died by the 100 wooden tiger. Here she wanted to become like a tiger, but she could never become like a tiger. The second is metaphor. Even that would not free her. Even death would not free her. And PP over here is alliteration. 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 And if they ask us the tone of the poem, the tigers are cheerful, but the ant is sad. Ant is sad. Tigers are cheerful. And the rhyming scheme of the poem is AABBCC. How? If you look at the entire poem, we will come to know screen green, tree nitty, wool pull, band hand, lie by, maid unafraid. So what is the rhyming scheme if you see? AABBCC. So this poem talks about the troubles that women face in society, and they still continue in our society. And this is a very simple poem, 12-line poem, but it talks about the problems that women face in society till today. Till today. You know, our moms cannot go anywhere without taking our dad's permission. Not that they cannot go to take the vegetables or something, but generally it is, bounded. Generally, they have to ask, they have to take permission. So we'll not go into much details. We'll take a stop over here. Yes. AABB. So there is no CC. Correct. So let's remove CC. So if it's like AABB, CCDD, EEFF, you can think like that also, but you can also think like AABB. Okay? Are you getting my point? AABB, CCDD, EEFF, or you just say AABB, AABB, AABB. But there's a rhyme at the end of the poem. Barabar? So we'll stop over here.